This is the FBI's most wanted woman. On June 11, 2016, the song Girl on Fire rocked Wimberly Arena.
Ruja, where are you?
And the woman on stage, Dr. Ruja Ignatova, at that time, was on fire in every sense. She was all over the place, in newspapers, on social media, leading webinars,
Ignatova, a very warm welcome to our special webinar on the One Tablet.
selling everyone a vision of financial freedom with her cryptocurrency, OneCoin, which, according to her, would revolutionize the currency system, democratize money, and give the power back to the people. Everyone was totally into it. They started calling her all sorts of cool titles like Bitcoin Killer and Cryptoqueen. About 3 million people jumped on board, pouring in an eye-watering $4 billion total investment. And much of that was people's hard-earned life savings and even their mortgage money. Shocking, right? But here's the real shocker. In 2017, she just vanished, literally into thin air. Nobody, not even the FBI, has a clue where she is now. The only clear thing left is the dream she sold was nothing but a big scam, and all that money everyone invested, that's not coming back. So what happened? Where did she vanish to? Today, we're diving into a tale of greed and deception featuring the infamous crypto queen Dr. Ruja Ignatova. How she swiped billions of dollars and then just ghosted. But first, fasten your seatbelt because things are about to get wild. OneCoin Wonder. I think we should start with the thing that made her famous, the OneCoin Wonder. Even if you're not a crypto fan, you've likely heard of Bitcoin, the first and biggest cryptocurrency. When its value rocketed from just a few cents to hundreds of dollars per coin by mid-2016, it had everyone talking. Cryptocurrency was quickly becoming the next big thing, and many investors were eager to jump into this exciting new venture. That's why when the Bitcoin killer hit the scene, everyone was buzzing. And that killer is OneCoin.
In 2 years, nobody will speak about Bitcoin anymore.
And the woman in the fancy ball gown, wearing long diamond earrings and bright red lipstick, she is Dr. Ruja Ignatova. She told the cheering crowd that OneCoin was set to become the world's biggest cryptocurrency, a currency for everyone to make payments everywhere. Here's a little context. After the 2008 global financial crisis, people started losing trust in banks. Bitcoin, offering an alternative to traditional currency, gained traction during these tough times. So naturally, OneCoin, riding the same wave, aimed to do the same or even better. According to OneCoin founder Dr. Ruja, traditional banks and governments wielded too much control over money, and it was time for a change, a revolution to put financial power back in people's hands. She blamed the current system and big banks for the financial crisis and pitched a new idea. Cryptocurrencies, especially OneCoin, were the future. One thing OneCoin did better than Bitcoin in terms of going mainstream was simplifying the whole cryptocurrency system. Back then, buying crypto was a lot harder and more complicated than it is now. Dr. Ruja's concept was all about making it easy. She offered educational membership packages loaded with financial learning resources, all promising to guide people toward financial freedom. The price of these packages varied from $100 to hundreds of thousands, which meant pretty much anyone from all economic backgrounds could invest in OneCoin and supposedly set themselves up for a financially free future. In no time at all, people worldwide began pouring their savings into OneCoin, eager to join this new revolution. Within 3 years of its launch, OneCoin attracted over 3 million global investors. Leaked documents from BBC revealed that in the first half of 2016 alone, British investors poured nearly 30 million euros into OneCoin, with a staggering 2 million euros invested in just 1 week. From August 2014 to March 2017, their total investment in OneCoin reached a massive 4 billion euros, spread across various countries, from Pakistan to Brazil, Hong Kong to Norway, Canada to Yemen, and even Palestine. Millions of investors became part of a network known as One Life. They joined WhatsApp groups filled with so-called insider info, where they were often encouraged to ignore all the haters. All over the place, from the United States to China, the UK, and even countries in Africa, there were big meetings and webinars. Anything linked to Dr. Ruja, OneCoin, or One Life was about showing off a fancy, rich life with flashy, high-end parties, the kind of life that everyone wishes they had. So how did a woman with no background in cryptocurrency suddenly show up out of nowhere and get millions of people to pour all their money into her idea? Well, you can say she legit is the greatest marketer salesperson ever. But it's not just that. She had the credentials to back her statements. Dr. Ruja Ignatova. Ruja was born on May 30th, 1980, in Ruz, a city in Bulgaria, and she was a real high achiever. She graduated from Oxford University and was fluent in several languages. She also had a PhD in law and experience working for McKinsey & Co., a well-known global management consulting firm. Now, given her impressive background, combined with her confidence, passion, and knack for selling big ideas, it wasn't hard for Dr. Ruja to build trust with investors and convince them of the potential for a new cryptocurrency revolution. And Ruja quickly became the center of that revolution. She made a fortune fast and lived an incredibly fancy life that's hard for most of us to even imagine. A $15 million penthouse in London's lavish borough of Kensington, a 145-foot $7.5 million super yacht, and a $2.1 million coastal mansion in her home country, Bulgaria. High-end brands, diamond jewelry, and luxury parties attended by not just OneCoin's top investors and executives, but even top celebrities like Sir Tom Jones. She became so rich and well-known that she always had 2 bodyguards with her, not just for protection, but also to carry all the fancy stuff she bought on her shopping trips. But what she was selling went beyond just the promise of financial freedom or a life of luxury. It's a sense of a family.
We will be the biggest out there, and we will write history. And the cryptocurrency community will have to rewrite philosophy. Nobody can compare to us. We have today the most users. We are the biggest crypto reserve currency out there. And to everybody who tells me that I violate the philosophy of cryptocurrency, guys, we are a bigger community. We decide what the philosophy of cryptocurrency is. In 2 years, nobody will speak about Bitcoin anymore.
This feeling of being in a close-knit family is what drove OneCoin's victims to invest everything they had, even encouraging their friends and relatives to do the same. It's this very sense of belonging that OneCoin leveraged to create a highly sophisticated scam. I'll go into the details right now. Multi-level marketing and the like cult community. What's the secret behind OneCoin's marketing success? Multi-level marketing strategy. Here's how it works. I pay $100 to OneCoin to start selling its starter packages directly to people. I managed to sell a package to my friend David, earning a small commission. But then, I get David on board to start selling as well. Every time he makes a sale, I get a cut. He is now in what's called my downline. Next, David recruits 2 people. Those 2 then recruit 2 more each, and so it continues. This network expands rapidly. If it goes on for 25 rounds of recruitment, theoretically, everyone in the US could be selling OneCoin packages, and I, sitting at the top, would earn a slice of all of those sales. Dr. Ruja and OneCoin really upped the MLM game by bringing on board some of the world's best sellers. Dr. Ruja realized that these experienced MLM sellers, who already had extensive downlines, were ideal for promoting OneCoin.
You can make millions of wealth into this industry and very quickly.
These sellers claimed to be making millions monthly from OneCoin, partly in cash and partly in OneCoin. Many of them were so convinced of OneCoin's value that they reinvested their cash earnings into more coins. They, along with many others, truly believed they were making a fortune. But they have reasons to believe in it. In 2016, Dr. Ruja's key offering was the Ultimate Package. It included 1,311,111 OneCoin tokens, all for the price of $130,600. And according to her, a single OneCoin was valued at $7.56 at that time. That means if you invested $130,600 in OneCoin, you could potentially rake in $9,911,999 after converting and selling your coins. Now, that's an incredible profit of more than 7,400%. The huge profit potential had everyone in the OneCoin network totally enamored with the currency. Even when Bulgaria's Financial Supervision Commission warned in 2015 that OneCoin had not been regulated by European regulations on capital markets, and if the company went bankrupt, investors wouldn't get any compensation for their losses, the community did not even blink. They maintained their optimism, believing any warnings were just noises from the haters.
You have to understand that this is my choice.
It is.
Becoming abusive or harassing or all this that you've wrote to me.
You've been deceived. You've been deceived by professional criminals. I will prove it.
What you have to understand, Tim, is you have your opinion and I have mine.
It's not an opinion, it's a fact. I can prove it.
I just heard someone say cult. Is that you? Thing is, MLM or community-based selling isn't illegal, but it sure is controversial. The reason? Typically, only a few people at the top make most of the money, and the line into illegality is crossed when the whole setup is just about recruiting others without selling any real, valuable product. And that's when it stops being just MLM and turns into a pyramid scheme. And that's exactly what OneCoin was doing. Their entire operation, from their product to their coins, was just a classic pyramid scheme. The billion-dollar scam. First, their educational package. Later, legal investigations showed that OneCoin's educational packages were just plagiarized content, falsely claimed as their own. This meant that their real income was just from recruiting more people into the One Life network. That means an illegal pyramid scheme. But that's just the start. Here's the real shocker. OneCoin didn't use blockchain technology at all. Instead, they managed their cryptocurrency with a regular database that could be easily changed or manipulated. This meant Ruja could just make up numbers, enter them into the database, and claim that OneCoin's value had increased or a sale was made. She could even, and did, create more OneCoins whenever she wanted. I don't think this is what we should call democratize. Their exchange, supposed to let people trade real money for OneCoin, Xcoin X, was always under construction, facing endless delays. Then, finally, in January 2017, it was suddenly shut down without any notice and never reopened. This left investors unable to cash out. The company told them to wait, saying they'd be able to cash in once OneCoin went public on the stock exchange. Of course, that was just another lie. So where was the Cryptoqueen when her community needed her most? Brace yourself, because this part gets even wilder. The missing queen. Where are you? In October 2017, Dr. Ruja was supposed to speak at a big OneCoin event in Lisbon, Portugal. But the event ended and she was nowhere to be seen. Her colleagues tried calling. No answer, no texts, nothing. Suddenly, no one knew where she was. She had totally disappeared. Her followers started getting worried. There were all sorts of theories. Some thought she had been kidnapped because her crypto revolution threatened big banks, and others believed that she had run away. Meanwhile, the law was closing in on her. Even though she was listed as missing, she was charged in absentia with 5 serious crimes: conspiracy to commit wire fraud, committing wire fraud, conspiracy to commit money laundering, conspiracy to commit securities fraud, and committing securities fraud. After Dr. Ruja vanished, her younger brother, Konstantin, stepped in to lead the OneCoin empire. Before this, he had been her bodyguard and personal assistant. With this new leader and its cult-like followers, OneCoin managed to keep going for a little bit longer. But then, in March 2019, as Konstantin was about to catch a flight from Los Angeles to Bulgaria, the FBI arrested and charged him with money laundering and fraud. On the same day, US authorities declared OneCoin a fraudulent scheme. In November of 2019, Ignatov pleaded guilty to charges of money laundering and fraud. The total maximum sentence for the charges is 90 years in prison. At the same time, the FBI was going after Dr. Ruja. They put her high up on their most wanted list and offered a $100,000 reward for any information about her. But still, nobody knows where she is. Lots of people think she might have changed her looks with plastic surgery and used her wealthy network to stay out of the FBI's reach. But while the Cryptoqueen vanished with all the stolen money, those left behind are still dealing with the consequences. The tragedy left. Here is a picture taken in a poor area of Kampala, and these people sold their land and homes to invest in Dr. Ruja's packages. This isn't just one isolated case. It's a story repeated in many countries, particularly in poorer African regions where people's livelihoods come from growing bananas, cassava, sweet potatoes, beans, or groundnuts. Now, they're shouldering the harsh consequences of Dr. Ruja's scam. It's a stark contrast to the luxurious lifestyle OneCoin flaunted on social media. It's just sad thinking about. The cases of the Cryptoqueen, the FTX genius, and others have been eye-openers about the complex scams in today's digital age. But the lesson is straightforward. There's no such thing as a free lunch. So whenever you come across an opportunity that seems too good to be true, take a moment to think. Is it really a golden chance, or just bait in a trap? And that's all for today's episode. I'll be back with more interesting business stories, so don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Love you all and take care.